Hey y'all, it's Saria. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And on this channel, we do wellness, we talk a little trash TV, and today we are going to be talking some trash TV, in particular, Love and Hip Hop Miami, okay? Let's get into it. This is a recap, this is a review, this is my thoughts and unfiltered opinion. Let's get it. Y'all, so we're starting off this episode, right? So y'all remember the last episode, Alan pulled up at, was it Shay's event? Y'all don't know whose event it was. Pulled up at this event. Yeah, I think it was Shay's event or her brother's event, something with one of them, right? Because he went to Amada and Mommy Anna's house and was looking for Amada, and Mommy Anna was like, dude, she with MJ right now, like, get out of here. She's not here. So Alan, he went, saw Amada, was trying to talk to her. And as you know, that upset Shay. And I get it. Y'all might say, oh, Shay's doing the most. She's this, she's that. But, I can appreciate Shay not being emotionally constipated. Because when she said it, like when she was getting in the car with Mike just now, she was like, it just triggered her. And she was talking to MJ. She was like, it just triggered her to see somebody, honestly, will cause her family so much heartache, right? This man, he interfered in him and MJ and Amada's relationship. And, he started off as friends with MJ and then everything with Amada. And yes, these individual people have their own dealings with Alan as in they have their own choices to make. But at the same time, I'm not even going to hold you. I see where Shay is coming from. And for Alan to sit there and think that he can pull up to this event to talk to Amada, nah. It just shows, honestly, his disgusting audacity and his lack of boundaries, if I can be completely honest with you, right? And then also, too, if you didn't watch the last episode, remember him and Amada was sitting there talking. He did not say nothing about leaving his wife, nothing about being in love with her, none of that. The only thing he says is, oh, you're my mother's kid. Of course I love you. Of course I respect you. He sounded like he was talking to my favorite cashier at the Publix I'm a regular at. Hey, girl. Yeah, girl, I love you, girl. I've been coming to this Publix for 10 years now, okay? Y'all always hook me up with an extra cheese without charging, okay? Okay, that's literally how he was talking to her. Like she ain't nothing but some extra cheese on a sandwich for him. And I mean, maybe she is, honestly. So yeah, we had the fallout of all that, right? And so Shay and Mike is and Shay's nice white Tesla. And I guess this is not really, maybe it's just not my prerogative, but as somebody who is a passenger princess, okay, when I say full-on passenger princess, I mean full-on. Like, if I don't have to drive, baby, I'm not, okay? But this is the second time I've seen Shay drive a man around in her car. First was Fable, and now it's Mike. Which I guess if that's like her thing, and like when I was in my bad, y'all. When I was in a relationship, I rarely drove, and I would offer to drive sometimes, and I would sometimes drive, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I was being driven. And so maybe that's the case with Shay, but we just happened to see her always driving these men around. And I guess for me, I'm just like, is that an overall representation on how you always leading the man or forcing these relationships with men? And but we haven't really gotten to know her and Mike. I'm just basing this off of like, child, not Flavor Flav, Scrappy. And I can't even remember who else Shay was. And Fabo, in Fabo. Duh, Saria. But yeah. But also too, y'all, I want to see what happens now with Amada, MJ, and Alan, because seeing Amada when he got up and he was trying to hug her and she was like, no, don't touch me, bro. I've been there and I know that feeling. But Amada, you have got to have some boundaries with this man. And that includes not asking him to have another baby with you. Even if he is just putting it in a cup because you want all your kids to have the same dad. How about not having another baby with him and waiting until you meet a nice man to marry? Okay. And then you have another baby. Focus on yourself. Focus on the 2 kids that you have. And healing. But having another baby with Alan, girl, you still create a soul tie with that man, even if you're not laying down and opening your legs for him. Because you still technically, like, I don't know how they insert the sperm, but you still intertwining with him in an unnecessary way at this point. Yeah, you want more kids, but it's unnecessary. You can wait. Let's get into this. And now Amada is sitting here saying that she just feels drained because she just poured her heart out to Alan. She just gave Alan everything. Yes, and this is why exactly you do not need to have any more children with this man. Women need to stop investing so much into a man that they're not getting anything from. You so desperate for this man, to have a family with this man, when this man already has a wife, has a family. Stop it. Okay, the past is in the past. You done had them kids. What's happened? It takes 2 to tango. But now you as a woman, it's time for you to get up, stop feeling sorry for yourself, and to heal and to look inward and to move forward. Stop pouring out everything stop begging him. Stop begging him, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're like, please you just can't even tell me. You know what the answer is. Baby, if the answer is not yes, it's no. Does he need to explicitly, does he need to explicitly tell you at this point? It's a no. And you can't sit there and let this fantasy that you have in your head, because you done slept with this man and had 2 kids with him, so now you hormonally, spiritually, and physically, and almost said pussylitically attached to this man. Okay? And Amada, I don't know if you've been, ever since you've had those kids, if you've slept with Alan since then. Well, I don't know, because you were with Safar. I don't know. But either way, girl, you need to let him come to you, and you just need to co-parent. Stop trying to be like, oh, we need to work on our Like, yes, you and him, y'all are cool. Y'all can be on one accord. He's safe. He's not a threat to you or the kids. Okay, cool. Work on yourself. Get some therapy. Get some spirituality in your life, okay? Handle him as a co-parent, as a father of your kids. Let go of the fact that you guys are not together, that he's not wanting to be with you in this moment, and move on for you and your kids. Because you holding on to all this guilt, shame, resentment, fear of not being with him, fear of losing him, whatever emotion it is, has to be let go. Because you let this continue to build up in your body, girl, all that's gonna do is create stress and dis-ease in your body. Why don't you try putting yourself at ease and just meeting him where he's at? We're co-parents. He's married. What happened is what happened. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to move forward as a woman. I'm going to lean onto my tribe. I'll lean onto him as a co-parent. I'll lean on his family with help and support with the girls, but that's it. And I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to start a new, fresh relationship. Not just with a man, but with myself. Right? So we got Amada. Shay, she leaves, and then we got Amada and Alan speaking, and that's when she's like, I'm just drained, and he's like, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good, trying to save a little bit of face, right after she was ready to write off MJ for Alan, right? And I was like, not Alan, I'm just like, I want to holler at him because I haven't seen him since everything, so I want to speak to him because I don't even appreciate him crashing my event for real. And I feel him on that. They need to have like a man-to-man conversation. Amada needs to go home, breathe. She needs to leave. She needs to get up out of that beautifully fitted red bodysuit, put on some sweats, and she needs to breathe. Okay? But let's press on into the episode and continue to see, okay? We're going to recap. We're going to talk. We're going to hash it out. Let's get into it. Oop. Child, so listen. So, what was I going to say? Now, right, we see MJ, and of course we have security holding MJ back, security holding Alan back. And MJ's like, oh, like, I just want to, like, holla at you talking to Alan. And then we also see Miami Tip and Bobby Lights in the cut, like, standing over watching everything go on because, you know, MJ was talking to Amada, not just, you know, asking her, you know, you okay? Like, I want to holla at him because I haven't spoken to him since he interfered in our relationship he's in the DR. And I don't appreciate him coming to my event, right? So then we see, mind you, security's holding them back. So then we see MJ look over to Alan like, oh, like, you know, I want to speak to you. And Alan goes, look at me, MJ. You need to focus on your life. You need to get your life together. Amada's never getting back with you. She don't want you. You need to leave her alone. You know, just being like, oh, like, you don't have no chance for her. Like, you out here looking like a clown, whatever. And Amada's like, what? Tip and Bobby is like, what? I'm like, wait. MJ's like, what? The same one who's married, the same one who's bringing her all this drama in the first place. You gonna tell MJ that, the one who's actually single, available, and wants her? And then MJ was like, man, what you talking about? Like, we just talked about taking the girls to Disneyland. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, what you talking about? Like, because even Amada kind of looked like, hold up. Like, because didn't you just tell me that you just got love and respect for me? Yeah, and MJ's like, no, we don't know, like, you mind your business, right? And, you know, like, whatever. And then we see Amada over there with Alan, right? And she's like, just like, let's go. Like, we got kids to take care of. And we see Bobby and Tip, and they're like, hold up, are you getting back with this man? Right? And then eventually Alan leaves, MJ leaves. They're like, you getting back with this man? And Amada's like, no, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, da-da-da-da. And I love the transition. And not MJ, and then Bobby's like, well, you know, you are too stressed out, girl. You need to stop stressing. Miami pulls out her wig. She's like, yeah, this is too much. And Bobby's like, I feel like this is a perfect time for a trip. You need to get away from your baby daddy. And Bobby talks about how they're going to plan a trip to Carousel. And he was like, the guest list isn't finalized, but he definitely thinks Amada and Tip need to be there. So, yeah. But, y'all, I thought it was such clownery how Alan was sitting there like, oh, you don't never have a chance with her. Get out of here. And we know it's because, you know, on top of that, because, you know, I'm sure he has had his way with Amada and, you know, he has the Jedi mind tricks on her and, you know, mind her and, you know, all this stuff at this point to think that. But, you know, he also thinks it because what did his mama say? The kids with MJ won't be as cute, right? So I think he thinks because, you know, he Dominican, he got, you know, his soft hair and he a shade or two lighter than MJ, that he got something on him just automatically. Child, please. Amada, I really hope you don't sit there and have any more kids with Alan. Not under these circumstances, child. But we end the scene with Bobby asking them about the vacation. Oh, check out the lighting. Let me smile because this lighting is doing everything, okay? And we're going to move on into the next scene. What's tea? Okay. So we just, excuse me, belly. So we just saw here, and if you see me looking down, it's because I got it. Oh, let me not knock this over. Anyways, I got Love and Hip Hop pulled up on my laptop, so I don't have to. I can be hands-free while I film. But anyways, we just saw Shay and Mike Nasty. They went to a crab, like he took her to like a crab spot, you know. And they're sitting down and they're talking and they're basically going over what happened at her brother's event. She's explaining to him the situation between Amada, MJ, and Alan, all these things. And honestly, Mike was just like, excuse me, he was like, I'm cool, I saw you arguing with a man, and I'm never going to let any man argue with you or put his hands on you. He's like, I will definitely get active if I have to. And I was like, that's an interesting choice of words. He said he will get active. Okay. All right. So, and by the way, I was cracking up because she literally looked this big compared to him. Like when they zoomed out and they were sitting in the booth. And yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I thought that he would, be turned off by her getting into this argument with this guy. But no, he was cool with it. He had no issues with it. But then he brought up the conversation between her and her mom. And he was like, your mom is a phenomenal person. I want to send y'all on a spa day. And she's like, okay, cool. But then we get on the subject of, he transitions and he says, I noticed, though, that quite a few times your mom brought up your ex, or this thing with your ex has come up, about how she just, she's coming out of this toxic relationship and all these things. And he was like, and I just want to make sure that, you're focused on us moving forward and, you're done with the past. And Shay got defensive. And honestly, it's probably because she's not over Fabo / wants to be with him, in the sense of like, she's not going to accept, she walked away from the last situation and, she walked away currently. But definitely if he said, hey, I want to act right, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior and I've been delivered, he probably even want to have to say all of that. He probably would not even have to say all that. He'd be like, shit, baby, you're sweet like porridge with extra condensed milk, baby. Let me sniff una pum pum. Like, he could have probably said something like that. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, literally. But I feel like that's, like, how, in theory, low the bar is for Shay when it comes to Fable. Like, yes, she probably walked away in this last situation, maybe for the camera because she really felt embarrassed. She really felt drained. But let me tell you, the second he decides he wants to come back, she gonna let him in all ways. Let him in all ways. In all ways. In all ways. Okay? To where she don't need no always. Oh, y'all seen what I did there. Y'all see how witty and creative I am. Anyways. So Mike was like, oh, she's like, well, I'm not going to make any promises that I'm just going to completely X my child's father out. And, and he was like, well, I've just been in that situation before and it's made me uneasy. And it's been brought up a lot. And she's like, no, it hasn't. We've been on like 3 dates and, and she felt like he was asking too soon. And I see it from both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think that, she was right in saying that, I'm not going to make any promises. I have to see what happens because honestly, they have only been on 3 dates and she can't make a commitment to him about anything yet. Just off of that fact that they're just starting to get to know each other. Right. And then what I thought was funny at the end of the scene, especially, too, because I'm on my weight loss journey. I'm trying to be one of the Pilates princess girlies and be slim out here. But anyways, I was cracking up because the food was coming out during the conversation and it's like a big pan of like 15 different crab legs with mashed potatoes. He got all this shrimp. He got all this corn. And I'm sure, well, we can tell he big. So not just in height, but in width and circumference. So we can tell that he likes to eat, okay, and might not care about what he's eating. But Shay was like, yes, I'm very into health and wellness. I got the healthy hands. I like health and wellness, and I'm not eating none of this food. And I said, I know that's right, Shay. In the mighty name of Jesus, we will not unbig this back. We will not big this back in the mighty name of Jesus. I love this pen. Somebody gave this to me at church. But Anyways, yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, "Ooh, Shay, good for you, girl. I'm glad you did not eat that." And he was like, "Oh, it's fine." That conversation ended. We're only 11 minutes and 42 seconds into this episode, so let's get it cracking. So we see Amada sitting here looking beautiful, washing her dishes. And she's like, I poured my heart out to Alan, expecting, yes, she had the wrong expectations, expecting a response, but I got nothing. She's like, I feel really drained. I feel really tired. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you will feel, right? And hold on, let me actually see what she said here real quick. She said to this man, I always have hope that you'll see the value in me. One day that you'll see I'm a good woman. Hold up, because I'm sorry, y'all. I just, it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. But now, let me go ahead and play it so I can catch up. Alan talking about some, I don't know. She said, maybe the way I feel about him is just the way that I feel about him. You think? Finally, the thoughts that you're thinking are adding up. So we see Mommy Anna walking in. She said, Amada's like, I'm tired. I want to go to the studio. Mommy Anna is saying that she needs to relax. She needs a vacation. And she said, it's funny that you say that because Bobby invited me to Curacao, but I wasn't sure if I should go. But I need a vacation. But hold on, let me watch this so I can really come to y'all. 1 second, let me pause. So Amada and her mom are talking. She's talking to her mom, telling her that, Alan ended up showing up to MJ's event and everything that happened. This is why she needs a vacation. And she's saying in the confessional, she feels like, Alan's mom was lying because she says to her mom that he essentially said that he only respects her as a mother of his children. Right? And Mommy Anna's like, girl, he does not deserve you. He doesn't deserve you. Let me see what she says. 1 second. Let me mute this real quick. Because I want to tell y'all exactly what Mommy Anna said. Okay. On top of that, he said he only respected me as a mother of his children, right? This is what Amada is saying, right? They're playing the clip back. And she said, he told you that? Mm-hmm. And this is when Amada says in the confessional, I'm starting to think that the mom was lying. But she also says that she's the best thing that ever happened to Alan. So she would want her for a daughter-in-law too, right? Mommy Anna said he doesn't deserve you. He doesn't care about anyone. What has he done to show you that he loves you? Thank you. That's what I was trying to... Oh, come on, Mommy Anna. Hold up. This is going to have to be the thing. It's a dependency that you have. Come on, Mommy Anna. 1358. Yeah, hold on. Let me write that down because I'm going to have to come back to that for the thumbnail of some video that I'm going to talk about. 1358. What has he done to show you that he loves you? She goes, oh, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Mommy Anna says, no, it's a dependency you have. It's a drug, Amada. You are addicted. It's a dopamine hit. You are in a survival mode. It is a trauma response. You don't even feel safe to be with an emotionally available man. This man put everything in your face to show you that last night he does not really love you like that. He's not leaving his wife, but you still want to convince and hold on to the fact that something may or could happen between the two of you, or you don't know. Girl. So her mom was like, it's a dependency that you have. She's like, no, it's not a dependency that I have. It's called being in love. And she was like, and I don't want to end up like you either. Being a single mom is hard. Amada. That man is married. You are so damn desperate. So desperate to not be like your mom. For your girls to have the father that you want so desperately. And to have the marriage and the nuclear family. It's not happening with Alan. It's not happening with Alan. And her mom's like, I raised you. I didn't do so bad. And Amada's like, but I just want someone to come home to. And listen, dude, I get it. Trust me, I get it. As a single mom, too. Okay. I get it. I get it. Okay. And I don't have help for my child's father. So I get it. Right. I just have help from my family and my friends. Right. So I get it. Those days where you feel like you don't work, you done all this stuff. Right. And you do want somebody to rub your shoulders down, talk to you. Okay. To just cuddle with you. And that's okay. Truly, it is. It's okay to want those things and to feel those things. It's a desire of your heart. But at the same time, girl, you have to, one, cope with that in another way. And you can't want it so bad that you continue to latch on and hold on to a man that is not serving you in any way other than a fantasy. Alan is a fantasy. And it's like as long as he's around, he's filling some void. But it's like, what void is he feeling? He's really filling. He's not married to you. He's not truly honoring you and saying, oh, she's mine. What? Coming to MJ's event and making a spectacle? That's not really choosing you. That's pride. That's ego. That's him being in a sword fighting contest with another man. Let's finish seeing what her and her mom say. Keep clocking it. Keep clocking it, Mommy Anna. Mommy Anna said, okay, so who said you have to be like me? There's other men. There's other men in this world. And Amada literally said, oh, I just wanted my fairy tale. I just wanted my girls to have mom and dad in the same house. Guess what? They can still have a dad and a husband in the same, you know what I'm saying? Like you can still have that in the house for them. And you know, her mom said, okay, you chose the wrong person to do that with, but you can move on and you can still change things. Okay, but what's done is already done. And Amada's like, oh, but I just want to make sure that I've tried everything. What? And Mommy Anna's like, girl, what are you talking about? And Amada's like, but he won't leave me alone. He still calls, texts me, travels for me. You mean for the kids because y'all have kids together, maybe? And Mommy Anna literally said, every time he feels like it, you're available. So available to this man. So desperate. So incredibly desperate. And Mommy Anna says, you have to build up the courage and pride. Yes, pride is not always good, but you need to build up the courage and pride to say, you know what? I value myself. I am a daughter of the Most High God, or whatever you believe, but you need to have your identity rooted in something other than having this fairy tale with the father of your children. I'm a woman. I'm an awesome person, and I deserve to be loved the way I want to be loved. And I want someone to be willingly drawn to me. Not someone that I have to beg, plead, and force to be in my life. Someone who wants to be the husband, wants to be the dad, wants to be in the home, wants to be there for me and the girls. Let's see what Mommy Anna finishes saying. Okay, so Mommy Anna says you're supposed to have the courage and pride to say, I'm Amada La Negra and nobody's going to play with me, period. Come on, Mommy Anna. Okay, she said you set yourself up for that standard and watch the right person follows. Come on. But listen to me, Amada. As long as you continue to want to sell yourself short and want to beg and be desperate for someone that doesn't want you, guess what? You're never going to see and never going to be able to receive somebody who really wants to be there for you. Okay? And we about to hear Shay's mama tell her the same thing too. Okay? Okay, we see Shay. She walking. Oh, look at her. She looks so pretty. Let's get into it. So Shay says, I appreciate what Mike is doing, but him bringing up Fabo is throwing me all the way off. And it's making you feel uncomfortable because your nervous system and your hormones, baby, have gotten so used to trauma bonding with Fabo that you're almost scared to lose that drama out of your life, right? You're scared to lose that fantasy that you can have, that unhealthy push and pull, that unhealthy dopamine hit. What are you disappointed to never feel that high of Fabo again, to see how long before he messes up, to feel the drama of y'all's relationship, girl? And I'm not saying it has to be Mr. Mike Nasty, but let's just see what they gonna say, because I'm giving a whole lot of opinions right now. I'm cracking up. So we see Shay. Oh, I already said that, but Shay and her mom, they sit down. Her mom's name is Sandra. I did not know what her mom's name was for the longest. They sit down and, they get checked in for their spa day that Mr. Mike Nasty coordinated. And Shay's mom, Sandra, is like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. Mr. Mike Nasty, he did that, whatever. And so Shay's like, yeah, we gotta talk about that man. And then Shay started filling her in on what happened at the release party, right? And so, hold on, let me actually see something real quick. Hold on, let me see. Okay, that's what happened was. So Sandra walked in and she's like, yeah, he's really nice. He's cool. But what happened at the release party? Everybody going for everybody. So that's how we got into it. Then Shay is telling her mom about what happened, how she's feeling some type of way about Alan. She doesn't like him. She's mad at Alan. She has a lot of anger built up towards him for all of the things that he caused in his family, what he said to Amada, and how he just treats Amada any kind of way, and how he's ugly. His hairline is receding. And her mom's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting, right? Her mom goes, well, you both deserve to be treated with respect. As a mother who loves her daughter dearly, what is she? Give Mike a chance. Let's pause there. So they're talking, and Shay's like, I want you to give Mike a chance. And that's when Shay's like, oh, well, I just feel like, he was asking me all these questions about Fabo, and he's like trying to bully me into telling him I'm never going to be with my child's father again, aka I want to be with my child's father again. And then Shay's like, what did he say to you? She's like, well, he wants to go to church with us. And she's like, oh, well, that's sweet. And then, they continue talking about that. And her mom's like, well, he just wants to make sure you're in the right space, that you're ready for a serious relationship. And then her mom says, which was so good, why are you, sir? Hold on, let me see exactly what she says, because it was so good how she said it. Ooh. Ooh. Not today. Hold up. Mute. He's just trying to make sure you're in the right space. And he wants to make sure you're ready for a serious relationship. And this is when she said he kind of bullied me into telling him, I'm never going to be with my child's father again. And that's literally how she looked. Okay. And then her mom says, why are you searching for excuses? I don't want you to miss an opportunity. Because sometimes that same opportunity don't return. Ooh, and I want to see you married one day. Let me pause y'all here so I can listen. And Shay just sat there and just, she put all that tension in her mouth when she don't know how to do it. When she feels uncomfortable. But her mom's like, yeah, I want to see you married one day. Stop sitting there. What are you waiting on Fabo for? Like, not saying that you have to rush into anything, but stop searching for excuses to hold yourself back from receiving the love that you really want, girl. So let's see. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm about to do a little stretching while we watching this. There we go. So let's see where we at next. Okay, we're transitioning scenes. All right, y'all. So we have Zoe Brings, and she's doing like a promotional photo shoot. She has it looks like she has some sort of cosmetic line, lashes, cosmetics, beauty, right? And they're doing little promotional picture videos, and I don't know if this is her shop or just a shop where her products are. But yeah, so Hot Topic walks in during her photo shoot, and we have not seen Hot Topic since all of the drama. She said she's been keeping it low key. Her and Zoe sit down. Zoe looks so pretty. She has like shoulder length hair. It's like kind of looks like a nice natural like press and curl. Nice red lips. She has some lashes on. She looks really nice. And she just starts talking to Hot Topic about how, because Hot Topic is like, dang, I didn't know Brinks Beauty was doing it like that. And Zoe's like, yeah, I'm focused on this for right now. I kind of fell back from, she said not fall back from the music, but she still promotes it. But right now she's focusing on beauty. She has like her baddie on a budget series. It looks like she has a TikTok. I wonder if she has a YouTube. I'm gonna have to check her out. And yeah, she wants to focus on beauty, and that's where her passion is for right now. I'm sorry, I'm stretching. And yeah, and now Hot Topic says, wow, like I'm surprised because I felt like music was really your passion. And as we've seen from the preview, Hot Topic is about to tell her how she feels like how Ching Diamond's coming from her spot. She feels like there's things being calculated, to, I don't know, maybe take Zoe's spot, but nobody can really do that because Zoe's Zoe, but let's see. Okay, so Zoe basically says, she likes music, but right now Brinks Beauty is her baby. She's like, Brinks Beauty is what's paying the bills, okay? She's out here doing her makeup tutorial. She's out here selling her cosmetics. She said this is what's paying the bills. She said she was just dealing with like a lot of weird stuff in the industry, weird people. She thought her last album was going to be her big break. It wasn't. So right now she's just nurturing, where she's seeing the fruits come, which is her cosmetics. Okay, good for you, girl. And now she's about to start talking to Hot Topic about everything that happened with Ching Diamond. And what she's saying is that, Ching asked her about relationship advice, about her boyfriend, and this is when they started. And she said, we started talking, and then she started comparing. That's when things went left, okay? So yeah, Zoe's like, I was trying to give her advice, but because I said this about her boyfriend, she started coming from my boyfriend. Things went left, and we just fell out real bad. And now Hot Topic is like telling her, she was like, well, I heard that Ching is coming for your spot. And she's in the confessional, and she's like, listen, I can't disclose my source, but I got a source. Girl. And apparently this source is somebody who put Ching on. So who could it be? And Hot Topic is like, well, girl, don't give up your spot so quickly, so easily. And I get that, but at the same time, if she's having fun with beauty and she's making money from the beauty industry, cool. But now Zoe is saying that she's going to go meet up with Ching because she hasn't seen her since everything. Just so that way, I guess she can clear the air that, I don't know if Ching was really her friend the whole time. Does that matter? Because y'all not friends now. Y'all got into it now. But like, I guess, me personally, I don't see the point in that. But, living hip hop, so. So they finished talking about Ching Diamond, and then Zoe tells her that, oh, Bobby's planning a trip. And she's like, Bobby's planning a trip? She's like, yeah, the carousel. And she's telling, her who's all invited. She's like, Trina, Trick, Joy, Amada, Tip. And she's like, dang, like, so I'm not invited? I'm like, why would Bobby invite you? Like, actually, Hot Topic, why would he invite you if he honestly believes that you're messy in the center of all this drama and everything like that, or that drama that happened with Trina? Why would he invite you? And Zoe's like, oh, well, you should come. It's going to be good vibes. Of course, it's Loving Hip Hop. So Hot Topic going to be there. And she going to bring the drama. But yeah. Anyways, we about to go on a commercial break. Let's keep it going. Take a little stretch break. Y'all, we love a good stretch break. What do y'all think about this episode so far? Like, not Alan. Amada is a mess. Like, she is really a mess. And I really want her to get some self-esteem about herself and take her mom's advice. Same thing with Shay. All right, y'all, let me pause. We got about a minute left on commercials. I'll be back. So, Pinky Doll, when Bobby said, you got to come to Miami, you got to go hard, and you got to steal the spotlight, he did not mean acting a donkey everywhere you go. Yeah, maybe like you said, the French had you misunderstanding. It was a miscommunication. Okay? Because right now, this scene that we have, it's just been Pinky Doll in the studio. She hasn't heard from Timbaland, so she got some studio time. She's recording a song. It sounds like a little da, 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 like a little house, or EDM kind of vibe. And, Miami Tip comes in. She's like, I could see the song being big on TikTok. And I'm not just saying that. I could see you going far. But, girl, you got to chill. And she was like, they're talking about the situation with Amada. And Pinky Doll's like, oh, Amada was coming for me. She just don't like me. She's hating on me. Da-da-da. No, I think you're jealous of Amada. I think you feel some type of way about Amada, Pinky Doll, okay? Because Amada was being very chill, and not Pinky Doll. Miami Tip said that. She was like, no, I don't think that's how that happened. I think you handled it immature. And then I heard you did the same thing at the Twins event. And Pinky Doll's like, so are you my friend, or are you trying to check me? Because you're like Miami Tip said, because you are my friend, I am going to check you. And if you want to be here working in Miami, working with Timbaland, meeting people, moving and grooving and networking, you cannot be here acting an ass every time you go somewhere. You cannot be here showing your behind. You cannot be here getting into it with everybody. When Bobby said come and steal the spotlight, that means come and make moves. Making moves is not getting into it everywhere, wherever you go, and just being loud, annoying, and weird. So they wrap up their conversation, and Miami Tip is like, listen, girl, I really like you, and I don't want you and Amada beefing because I think y'all have more in common than you think. So I'm going to invite you to this trip to Carousel, okay? Everyone's going to be there, and I want them to really get to know you. And Pinky Doll says, you know what? I'm not going to judge Amada because I don't want to be judging people, and I want to get to know her. So, yeah, that's how that went. And now we are 30 minutes into the show. It looks like another commercial break, and then we're going to get into some other tea. Real quick, checking in with Ching Diamond, Quez. They're at El Patio in Miami. I'm going to have to check that out. Y'all, I'm taking my weekend trip to Miami, okay? I'm taking my weekend trip to Miami, okay? Anyways, another story. So they're at the restaurant. She says she's been feeling lonely since Quez and her mom got into it. Her mom went to Nebraska. Quez went to Arizona with his mom. And now that Quez is back, she said they need to talk. Talk about what, girl? If she is really pregnant, girl, yo dumb behind. Yo, girl. Ooh, child. Oh my goodness. So Ching and Quez, like I said, they're at dinner. Not at dinner, they're at lunch. And, they're talking about the situation with Zoe, just how her mom left. And he says two things. He's like, one, okay, like, I just want to like focus on you. And it's like, I'm not dating your mom. So like, we're not worried about what your mom thinks. Let's just enjoy our date, right? Fast forward, he tells her, he was like, oh, this is also a celebration. She was like, it is. And he tells her that he got a job in Arizona, right? And so she's like, what? Like, you got a job in Arizona? He's like, oh, I thought you would be happy, da-da-da-da-da. And this is also when he brought up, like, when she was like, and you can stop mentioning my mom, because he was like, oh, I thought y'all would be happy. Like, I got a job. I'm doing what y'all are doing, whatever. And she was like, how about this? This is what I want you to do. I want you to get money. So let's not mention my mom, because I feel like you're just taking everything out of context. And it's like, dude, She wants you to not hustle, not be a street dude. She wants you to get money legally in Miami. She wanted you to stay with her in Miami. Like she said, she has no friends. Her mom's not there. She wants you to be with her in Miami. You could have gotten a job in Miami. So much you could have done, sir, right? And he's like, he keeps deflecting. Oh, I thought you would be happy. Isn't this what you want me to do? And I'm gonna still be here. I'll just be in Arizona. And she was like, does this have to do with, and he's like, oh no, da da da. I'm doing what you just keep saying, oh, I'm doing what you want to, sir. She did not want you to go to all the way to Arizona. And then she was like, even if I'm alone and pregnant, and he was like, you are not pregnant. And she's like, if the hospital says I'm pregnant, how I'm not pregnant? And I can't really tell if she's capping or not, but we'll see. And she's like, you don't seem too happy. And he's like, I mean, says something. I think he says like, oh, it's just timing. And exactly what I said, but you humping it raw every time, sir. What did you mean? What did you think was going to happen? Let me pause because the episode just came back on. What did you think was going to happen? So now Ching is allegedly pregnant. And guess what? Marquez said that, well, I took this job, so I got to still go back to Arizona. I'll come out and see you. That is so sad. Like, girl. Ugh. Like, oh, girl. I really hope she's not pregnant. I really hope she was just saying that to mess with him, because he is just, I don't know. Especially him being out there in Arizona. So you got a job out there, so you don't really plan on being with her? Is that what you're saying? Because why would you make such like I guess, like, because jobs can always change, but it just seems a little bit of a permanent power move that you try to play on her to distance yourself from her and distance yourself from the relationship quiz. Okay, so we see Pinky Doll here, and she says that, she's been lashing out a lot because she's been frustrated. She almost gave up on her music career coming down to Miami, and she's really thankful for Tip. But, all hope is not lost. Tip refreshed her mind with that conversation, and now she finally had her meeting with Timbaland. They sat down, they're talking. He said he felt her energy. He knows a star when he sees one, and now she's playing a song for him called That's My Bestie. And she said she had another song that went viral. I didn't hear it, but apparently it got taken down after a month. She said because she didn't know she had to clear the sample. And, there's all these different things of the music industry, and, whatever. So she's playing him the song, and it's like, that's my bestie. And I can honestly, y'all, she wants to do pop music because she says she has like that girly vibe. And I can definitely see her doing pop, like being in like, is it EDM and like house music? Like, like, those music festivals and stuff like that. Like, I could really see, yeah, I think it is EDM. Like, I could really see her music going hard and just like, house night at the club, So I'm not mad for it. Like, I don't want her, and I feel Miami Tip. So I'm glad that Miami Tip spoke to her, because I feel like she don't need to be beefing with Amada. She got her own thing. She's in her own lane, and she just needs to lean into that and not lean into if Amada likes her or not. And they just need to be cool, and she needs to be down here what she's down here for. Okay, period. So her and Timbaland are talking, chopping it up, and he's just talking to her about her experience. He talks about the song Gangnam Style, and he's like, that's what your kind of vibe reminds me of. You're the party starter. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to do the hood thing, even though I'm from the hood. And just telling him about how he inspired her, and so on and so forth, and how she appreciates his support, because she really wanted her sister to be there for her, but her sister hasn't, because her sister felt like she stole her dream. And when she tried to collaborate with her sister was like, no, I'm not doing this. And I even get it. Timbaland was like, why didn't your sister just join the journey? And she's like, she didn't want to, but I said, I'm gonna push forward. And Timbaland says, I like that you just own who you are, and that's what it takes in music. And I said, I know that's right. And yeah, it looks like they're about to finish up the conversation because now he's like, but now you're in great place, doing great things. And yes, let's see what else. Yeah, that was it. He was like, but you know, that's all good because you're in a great place, doing great things now. So how do we move forward from here? And she's like, we got to get to the music. And he's like, I'm down. And she's like, I'm down. So they're both down. And yeah, we're gonna see how this plays forward. I'm really interested, honestly, because to see how Timbaland spins that. Because you know what? Did he produce Sexy Back? Because I remember Sexy Back almost had that kind of same vibe by Justin Timberlake. So yeah, let's see. We got 9 minutes left in the episode. I feel like this review is about to be so long, but that's okay. And I will not delete it this time, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. So we see Ching sitting down at a cafe with a coffee and a large plate of sweets in front of her, like cinnamon rolls, Danishes. And it's like, sis, ain't no way you was gonna eat all that. And I would even say that to somebody who was small. But especially like Ching, you do not need any of that. Maybe just one, because I know you're pregnant, but girl. But anyways, Zoe FaceTimes her from the car and she's like, listen, me and Ching were supposed to meet up, but I don't know if it's a good idea. So why is Zoe FaceTiming her instead of just texting her? Or I guess maybe, I don't know. I guess she's gonna rather verbally say it. So we'll see. Girl, I thought they shouldn't have even met up in the first place. I think this is dumb. Okay? Dumb to even plan this. Dumb that Zoe even reached out. Okay, so I guess they technically did meet up, but anyways, they're on FaceTime and Zoe's just like, listen, I don't want to go in there because I don't feel like yelling and screaming and cursing and acting all ghetto in front of people, which they still ended up doing. So, but Ching was like, okay, speak your piece. So Zoe's just like, listen, I just felt like, you know, this, that, and the third, because someone said that, you know, you were fake, you're just coming from my spot. And Zoe was being calm, but then all of a sudden Ching was like, I told you, don't never try to make me out to be no fake. And, and just started going in. Right? And then they start going back and forth with each other, just nonsense, doing the ghetto nonsense that she actually said that she didn't want to do, right? So then after that, at the end, like towards the end, excuse me, Ching was like, oh, I'm gonna come find you. And Zoe was like, come find me, girl. You right here. I see you sitting right there. And next thing you know, and Zoe's like, oh, I got this knock knee dance for you. You know, come outside so I can show you. The next thing you know, we see Ching Diamond running outside with a donut. They both running towards each other. Ching Diamond throws a donut at Zoe. Zoe's like, did she throw something at me? And the security guards separate both of them. They're like, there's too much cars out here. There's too much traffic out here. Y'all acting like hood rats at whatever clock at night. There's mad cars in Miami. What is wrong with y'all? And Ching, I thought you were pregnant. I thought you were pregnant. I thought you were pregnant. What are you doing, girl? Or do you just care more about that man than the baby that's inside of you? Because I can't figure out why you running outside trying to fight pregnant. Or maybe, girl, to even exert yourself that much, even if you didn't physically, even exert yourself that much to have those men to have to hold you back and throw you around. Or not throw you around, but you know. Their scene's over. We got like 5 more minutes in the episode. Y'all. And I mean, I want all the women on this episode. Oh, hold on. We're doing the next time on. Wait, let me pause. So, next time, it's just getting into the trip. Boy, I want everybody to find some self-esteem. Okay? And stop straining themselves over these loser men. Like, I cannot. And not every man on this show's a loser, but these particular situations, Alan and Amada, Shay and Fabo, both Zoe and Ching and they men, and whoever else. Okay, like literally. But let's see what we gonna have next time on Love and Hip Hop Miami. It looks like the start of the trip. Okay, it looks like the start of the trip. I'm gonna watch it along with y'all so y'all get my reaction, but let me mute it. Okay. They're in carousel. We see Joy. They're cheersing. Amada's asking, ooh, Amada just asked him who all is coming. Ooh, is that Princess and Ray J? I cannot. Ray J and Bobby getting into it. Gael trying to build a bridge between Amada and and Princess. Alan showing up. Shay's cussing him out. Wake up, Amada. He do not care. Girl. All right, it is officially time for me to go on a walk, y'all. My name is Saria. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.